All right, welcome back. We're going over Superman, Reign of the Superboys. We're probably just going to do a couple of issues of this. We're not going to do the entire Superman run, just until Superboy Prime gets kicked out, probably. But boom, I basically spoiled it. Superboy Prime is the new Superman. After the events of DCKO, which we went over, they're going to be right here. Superman becomes King Omega. And with that, he's got a new mission to do. So Superboy Prime takes over the role of Superman in Metropolis. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, make sure to subscribe. Leave a comment below of what other comics you want to go over. Because we start with Superboy Prime, Fourth World Breaker. And if you don't know who Superboy Prime is, very important to go over. We might go over some of his other feats and other stuff in this channel. But dude used to be a villain. Now he's a good guy. Killed a bunch of people. He's from Earth Prime, a world where they have comic books and stuff. That's his main thing. That's why he can break the fourth wall. His powers are the equivalent of Silver Age Superman, I believe. But he helped in the Sinestro Corps Lantern War with the Sinestros killing Green Lanterns. He showed up mostly in Infinite Crisis, where he was jailed up, imprisoned for killing a bunch of the Teen Titans, etc. Wanting to be Superman, basically. And now he's kind of getting his wish. He has redeemed himself twice. Dark Crisis and also right before DCKO. We'll see it later, but he does like Crypto. Crypto used to fight him while he was battling in Infinite Crisis. And also whenever he tried to kill Superboy. But now they're friends. So we meet with Superboy, who's saying, "Hey-o, listen, I know we all just went through one of those big events that we all love. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, for the next few months, what if you and I just have a bunch of fun? We'll go on a hero's journey, learn some very important life lessons, and beat up supervillains. Maybe make some friends along the way. So what do you say? Fly with me?" As we go right into the action. Superboy Prime is fighting this villain known as Ignition, punching him straight through walls, buildings, saying nobody messes with my city. But before we see how that fight ends and why it began, we start in the Justice League Watchtower a few hours earlier. Lois pointing out that my powers are gone. Yes, the battle with Darkseid's legions have them drained, Lois. It's fascinating. My scans don't reveal whether your Superwoman ability's return was triggered because of exposure to certain energies or by the fear of danger, whether external or internal stimuli. Here we are with Mr. Terrific on the Watchtower. If you've been keeping up with Justice League Unlimited, he is on a course to get certain heroes back to their current timelines. Lois is leaving saying, "I don't really want to be Superwoman. I made peace with it the first time. It doesn't really matter." So Mr. Terrific asks if she's okay. Yep, this is not the first time a husband has been gone. Whether it's War World, space, hell, or other dimensions, even death itself, it's fine. Bruce and Wonder Woman aren't worried. I'm not worried. Also in the ending of DCKO, Booster Gold is on a mission to find Superman. Even Mr. Terrific brings it up right now. I wish we could be so sure, but Booster Gold is heading up to the rescue and research operation. And on the right, he's reunited with his best buddy, Blue and Gold, back again. We went over that on the channel as well. Make sure to check that out. With that, Lois and Mr. Terrific pull up to a bunch of girls flaunting all over Superboy Prime. Zatanna's like, "I love him in a trench coat." Huntress asks if that's a scar or a tattoo, where Vixen's like, "I think it's a brand. He's a psychopath." And we will see that brand. Huntress says she likes psychopaths. All the girls leave, and they stare out to what is Superboy Prime lifting a bunch of weights. Man's training in the tower. But he's not allowed to stay at the Watchtower, as Mr. Terrific says. And on his chest, you see that little Superman emblem? My boy went crazy and basically branded himself when he was locked in jail after Infinite Crisis. We might go over Infinite Crisis soon, honestly. That's not a bad idea. History, time, and space have been rewritten a few times. That works in his favor. However, people remember what Prime did. The deaths, the brutality, the recklessness. Prime is seen as a danger and not welcome on the Watchtower, specifically cutting to his battle in Infinite Crisis at the end of it. Lois bunts in, hey, he wants to redeem himself. Yeah, but without the real Superman here to vouch for him, nobody's willing to give him that second chance. But it's not that part that concerns me. He is from another world in the multiverse, one where we are fictional characters. He has read our entire collective lives as stories. He knows things about us, our history. He's witnessed some of our best and worst moments, intimate parts of our lives that no one else should know. If our files on him are accurate, Prime can break reality with a single punch. But his knowledge of our universe is his real power. Imagine if someone found out and used that against us. As Prime steps out after training, is like, anybody want to go hang out with me? And nobody wants to be with him. They see him as a liability, but also they know he's crazy. Even freaking Robin is like, no, get away from me. My first impulse is to lock him up again, but that could be a cornering a wild animal in a cage. So Lois says, I'll handle it. I know what needs to be done. Where we go back to Metropolis, and Superboy Prime says, I need to get a job. I don't need a job. I'm Superman. Lois is giving Superboy Prime some more responsibility. You're going to be Superboy or Superman of Metropolis. You got to look the part as well. What would Superman do? She offers him a job at the Daily Planet. You could work here. And he says no. Before people start asking why I look like a young Clark Kent from this world, people already said that back home whenever I write comic books. Lois asks if he wants to go back home. No, not really. Every time I see this place, it's because of some big crossover or cosmic event. I want to live here and see the sights for a bit. And this story is really just a young adult story where, coming of age, he is finally out on his own. He's set with responsibilities because Superboy Prime has never had that before. And he even tells Lois, after she tells him to get a job and get an apartment, I've only ever lived 2 places in my life, prison and with my parents. This is the first time on my own. So he's scared that he doesn't know what to do alone, and he doesn't have any friends, and it's hard to make friends because everybody thinks he's still a mass murderer, that he's a psychopath. Look, if you want to prove you can be redeemed, I think you need to think about what Clark would do. And so he says, I got it. I want to show everyone that I can be the greatest superhero the world has ever known, that I can be Superman. Being Superman is easy, right? Just do the right thing all the time. I'm like a baggageless Superman. No wife, no kids, no offense. So people will love it. Then I can be a member of the Justice League, hang with Batman and Wonder Woman as a new Trinity, get a cute variant or two, prove to everyone that I can be good, and maybe I do all that. Maybe, just maybe, I can get my very own issue number 1. And you see multiple things here, multiple callbacks to multiple different panels. I love the Justice League Unlimited. Looks like the Justice League International cover. Oh, I love Justice League International. It's one of my favorites. Mr. Miracle's looking right there. Booster Gold, the Blue Beetle. We have the cover of this issue in the corner as his number 1. So fun. So good. So Lois is like, what do you mean by your number 1? You don't get that stuff, Lois. It doesn't matter. And then explosion goes off. You hear that? It's prime time. Where Lois says, don't hurt anyone. Don't worry. I'm not that guy anymore. So he flies away singing basically the Spider Pig song where it's like, Spider Pig, but it's Superman's version. Punch a bad guy any size. You're in for a big surprise. Watch out. Here comes the Superman. Where we meet back with Ignition where we started this issue at. Your precious man of steel has abandoned you, and I'm the mighty herald of what is to come. The new future for humanity. Your golden city of progress is now mine. You'll bow to me and bring me all of your riches. Where Superman responds, that's a deep cut out of their DC encyclopedia. And then they start fighting. Where Superboy is just messing with him. You're so peak, dude. Late 90s design. I love it. And I love Superboy Prime using all the slang. Basically just being like a 22-year-old, 21-year-old on his own. This ain't your grandpa's Superman. Damn. And you can take a punch? I have battled the real Superman to a standstill. Emperors, gods, and interdimensional beings fear me. Some boy is no threat. And while he's fighting, stuff starts falling down. It's coming down, about to crush multiple of the civilians. Look at you, already distracted. You can never do what Superman does. Now put it up or shut up, boy. And so he thinks, what would Superman do? He destroys the rubble falling down. He puts out the fire with his breath, and he saves a little crypto toy and gives it to the kid and says, there you go, kid. That dog used to annoy me, but now he's one of my friends. As he gets blasted away by Ignition. Perhaps this battle was a waste of time. I can unleash nuclear rain on the city. You'll all die a very slow death. And Superboy gets back up in a rage, ticked off already just from that one hit. He's like, stop making me look bad. Lois runs through the crowd, and he tells him the same thing that we saw earlier. Nobody messes with my city. You know what they say? You hit them until they can't get up. Where Ignition is on the floor, flat on the floor. And Lois tells him to stop. He's letting loose too much. He's getting out of control. And so he walks up and says, actually, Lois, maybe I'm not like Superman at all. And rips off his head, saying Metropolis is mine and that he will kill anyone who says differently. Where then we see fourth wall breaking. It's being rewritten. Everything he just said and just did is getting touched up, going back to editing, right to the moment where he's standing above ignition again. So I'm going to pause right here. Superboy, I don't think he's fully healed is the whole point, is that he is redeeming himself in fighting all of these urges, but somebody is going to try to make him snap. They are going to make him look bad. He will probably turn out to be like the anti-hero version of Superman, where we have the entire super family. He's going to join the super family and just be the Red Hood version of them, where he will kill a couple people and he will snap loose because that is his nature. And seemingly, it wasn't him that did the editing for that. Maybe it was somebody else. But he says, that was just in my head. While everybody goes, yeah, Superman, fuck yeah. He kicked that guy's ass. Yeah, Superman. I'm loving this series right now. I'm loving this issue so far. It's great because of this. I do think that he's going to go crazy. And so he stands up there and says, I do it for you. And looks over and sees help wanted on a comic book store. We see the inside of the comic book store. Looks good over here. We got a Booster Gold section. This is my comic book store. Look how beautiful this is. One of my favorite comic book stores is Rainbow Comics. That's in South Dakota, though. So I don't know if you'll ever visit there in Sioux Falls. I do really like Mile High Comics. That's in Denver. That's a good one. I've been to Fallout Comics in Tallahassee. I've been to a good amount of comic book stores. There's a couple of good ones in Tampa as well. And I do love Samurai Comics in Arizona. Shout out to those guys. Thank you for doing what you do. So one of the workers is like, I will do all of the work as soon as I figure out who the artist was for Flash Comics #1. And Clark Kent walks in. Superboy Prime says, is Harry Lampert. Gardner Fox wrote it. Harry drew it. My name is CK. I saw your help. Wanted sign. And the owner's like, I'm not going to hire you, dude. Not the first person that walks through. Let's see if you got what it takes. And Superboy Prime says, done. I'd love to organize the comics in the back too. That sounds fun. And so they hire him. And we see this little group of 4 people. That's the squad. And we even got the red-haired chick. Let's go. That's what we need. And now he moves into a new apartment with Lois helping out, carrying his new comic book collection. Dude's living at Section 8 housing, it looks like. And we got a bunch of tags and graffiti from different artists. That's funny. Like Dan Mora was here on the mailboxes. Walking in, he's like, I got this. It's to catch up on current comics from the comic book owner. The lady inside, one of his neighbors, says, hi, do you need any help getting settled in? No. It's because he's hot is why they ask him. No, thank you, ma'am. I got this. Lois tells him, hey, if you ever need anything, you can always call me. I know Terrific and Justice League will keep an eye on you, but like for real, call me if you ever need me. We're friends. And Superboy says, yeah, I will call you. I will do anything I need. That's why your series had at least 100 issues once. I hope you get your own book back soon. A Daily Planet special or something. See you in the funny pages. And he locks the door on her. And so we see his shitty apartment because that's what it is. It's like a studio apartment. I mean, to be fair, he doesn't really need anything. He says, home sweet home, I can do this. I can be more than just a hero. I can live a real life with a job, apartment, friends. I'll show everyone that I've changed. They'll see I'm like the Jason Todd of the Superman family, but let's yes. See, that's what I'm talking about. My boy is going to become the anti-hero of the squad. He took the words right out of my mouth. Let's go. Oh my gosh, I'm so pumped. If he gets his own series, I just hope that he doesn't get writ like trash like Jason Todd. Jason Todd's not had a good story in a while. Oh my gosh, sorry. Time to catch up on my reading. Ever since I got here, I felt like my memory of this world has been. And before he can say that, he hears help. And he rips off his shirt, which he probably shouldn't do because he's poor, and says, it's prime time, baby. Puts on his clothes, reveals his tattoo, flies out of the building with somebody watching over him. Well, that's bloody interesting, ain't it? It's Manchester Black. I don't think we've seen this guy since like 2016, but it seems like he's after all the information that Superboy Prime holds into him, just like Mr. Terrific was scared about. And Manchester Black's powers seems to be more of a reality warper at this time. And I believe he is the one behind Superboy Prime rewritten, if that was actually a big trope or if that was just a gag. But I think he's going to make Superboy snap, and he's going to be the reason that the Justice League won't trust him anymore. But We'll be here next month, dear reader, for the next installment of the Prime Saga. I hope your Superman goes onto the sightseeing tour of the DC universe. Thank you for listening, watching, enjoying. I'm pumped. I love this. But yeah, we're going to keep going over this until at least Superboy Prime is gone. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace out.